Everybody, this is a different kind of video, especially from my channel. I want to talk about a tool that's available from VEGO Garden on their website that I just haven't seen enough people cover. You can see I'm on vegogarden.com. We're doing some sweet screen capture, and it's all the way at the bottom. I wish it were further up at the top. It's this first one here in information, VEGO 3D Garden Planner. If you're buying anything from their store and you want to imagine how it would look in your space, take some measurements ahead of time and do the 3D garden planner. So I just wanted to go through and maybe do a couple options so you can see what it looks like, I don't know, in real time. It takes you right to it. You can do some design work. It tells you about the 3D modeling and the organizing. Gives you a walkthrough for opening it up if you need that. Put your dimensions in, drag and drop, resize everything, and then download it to show your friends, show your wife, get the approval, and many different options or many different opportunities to go to the builder. Design now, right at the top. They all take you to the tool. So let's get that loaded. All right, there's some pre-made options, but I'm going to do a custom size, and I'm going to set it to, let's say, 15 by 20. That's approximately the dimension that I want to be working with my garden, the things that I'm buying, that I was given. And here's the point where we quickly make a comment to say, remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. And if you're thinking of buying any VEGO things for yourself, use the affiliate links in the description and comments below. It costs the same for you, and I get a little kickback in this channel to keep buying some more VEGO stuff and making some cool content. So thank you very much. There's a bonus for you too. You can type in ulrich.christopher10 off for $10 off your purchase. Now back to the video. So here's a representation. You can click on the screen, move it up and down, change your angle, rotate. You can hide this as we go on. And at the bottom, you can select all the things you want to put in. All right, you can go modern garden beds, move back, bundles, add-ons. In my case, I'm going to do the classic garden beds, 17 inches tall. I just did a video when I made one of my 10-in-1s into a 4x6 configuration. So let's find a couple that are that size. Let's take a look. Here we go. We're gonna click and drag it in. Cool. In fact, I'm going to drag in a few of them right off the bat. So this 15 by 20 space represents about where some of my wooden beds are right now. Up here, there's a path. Then there's strawberry beds over here. There's a walking path here. I got a whole bunch of raspberries and currants and stuff in this area, and this is just where the beds are going to go. So I want to bump them up right to the corners of this fence. Now, this doesn't have the best snapping I've experienced, but that's okay. Each square represents 1 square foot, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. And then I have a garden arch that I'm going to relocate and put in here. And it's about 3.5 feet. Or maybe it's about 2.5 feet. Gosh, I forget. Either way, I'm going to do this. So I am going to need 4 of these in total. So we'll put 1, 2. Cool. I am accustomed to a 2-foot walking space between my garden beds, actually less than that, about 18 inches. And it's pretty rough, so I'm going to make these 2.5 feet, not a full 3 feet apart. 2.5 is going to be fine. There's approximately 2.5. And of course, before you move anything, you have to select it like this, right? If I just press and I try to drag, that's not how this works. Before we move that, some tools that are up here, the arrow indicates move. The circle, if you do that, you can rotate whatever you have. Snap it at a 45 degree or 90 degrees perpendicular. You can duplicate. Oh, I could have done that. Configurations, if you go into that, Look, you've got all the different permutations. You can change the height of any individual thing. Gosh, we can change it even to the sky blue that I have. It can give you some product recommendations. It can give you some dirt fill things. That's pretty cool. So let's move. Yep, I got move selected. Put this back over here. This is just fun. It's fun to play around in something like this. If you're like me, I'm a really visual gardener. I'm a really visual creator in general. I do woodworking and I do gardening on my YouTube channel and home improvement stuff. And I'm never following a plan. I'm making so much of it up as I go. And it's beautiful. Let's just make these all sky blue, because that's what I got. And I just think it's stunning. In total, I have 6 of the 10-in-1 jumbo beds. And each of those has it has 4 corners. It has 4 2-foot sections and 4 1.5-foot sections. So I'm going to do some of the long beds now, the 2.5 by 9.5. Let's put one in here, shall we? See, it can be a little picky. That's okay. First off, we're going to line it up so it's maybe 2.5 feet away. There we go. Cool. And now, let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. So by doing the 6-foot configuration, this is a 1.5 foot and a 2-foot panel. Effectively, it takes out a 2-foot panel here and a 2-foot panel there. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 2-foot panels. So if I add 4 of them here, that adds 4 feet, which would make this 13.5 feet long. I wonder if I can change that in my configurations. I can't. So what I can do visually instead, well, first off, blue. Secondly, let's use the dupe feature. Nice. We are going to drag this up here. And then we're going to add 4 feet to this. So let's see if we can do that. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. 13.5. That makes sense. Yep, because it's 15 feet wide. Nice. Does that make sense? It does for me. I'm adding 4 feet. That's a good way to visually represent it. Oh. And now, let's duplicate and let's add some more. About 2.5 feet away. I know we're encroaching into the fence. That's okay. This is approximate for my garden. And then another one. In fact, let's move this down so I can see. Yeah, cool. That's gonna look real slick. I like that. So that makes use of all 6 of the 10-in-1s that I have. Every single panel, stabilization rod, corner, every bolt, every nut. When I put this in, I'm going to have, I told you that arch, the wooden arch that I built, but I'm also going to use cattle panels, and we're going to have a nice flowing system going through here. So let's save this. So you can save your design by sending an email, and then you have to allow. Cool. Why not? So when you do that, this is how it looks. Thank you for trying the 3D design tool. We saved it for you. Great. You can click it and print the image, download it. Very cool. Slick. Then they give you some other suggestions for what else you might like to put in your garden. It's always good to go back and look at things. FAQs. Honestly, their newsletter is pretty good, to be completely truthful. Let's go back to that 3D planner. So back at the 3D planner, where we were before. It's just neat to experiment and try out some other stuff. So let's talk about some of our standard designs and what else we might be able to do. So if I take these, even though I already made my panel a 4x6, say I take off that 4x6 and I add another 2 foot to it, and I make it a 4x8. So let's reconfigure this to a 4x8 blue. And this one will do the same. Say I build the second one as a 4x8 right away. Why don't we bring it down to the front just for something different? Oopsies. We want it to be blue. Alright, so that about fills the space. A little bit tight. And if we build these to their max configuration of 2.5 by 9, why don't we would get 4 of them, right? So we could put one right up at the top. 2.5 by 9.5, that's it. And let's give ourselves a 2.5 foot walkway. Cool. Dupe it again. 2.5 feet. Nice, nice. And let's, oopsies. Let's duplicate it again. Oh, but not this one. Select one of these, duplicate, and let's rotate. There we go, get crazy. Cool. And we gotta select move, there we go. And maybe I put it right around here. I think that could be a cool configuration. And then I've got a potting bench right here. This could be extra storage for some vertical things like shovels and pitchfork and stuff right along my fence line that goes here. That's another cool option. So again, I think I'm going to do the email and save it. You know, as you're putting these together, VEGO does show you in your upper right hand corner a shopping cart. And you can check them out individually like this. Or you can go back into the actual store and see what's on sale, right? So often they have products on a really good discount, especially if you buy multiples. I'm not sure why that doesn't automatically lock in their tool here. Maybe that's a missed opportunity for them. But it gives you a good idea if you were to start from scratch and buy them, I don't know, off the secondhand market or on Amazon or something if they're not on discount. I don't know why you'd go to Amazon or another place if you're already on the VEGO website, but that's neither here nor there. Let's make another design. All right, let's delete a lot of these and try one more permutation for what I'm working with. And let's get crazy. Let's rotate these, move it up into the starting corner. And let's just have 4 beds. Let's use all the extra side pieces from the 6, 10, and 1 modulars that we have. So let's see. If every box has 4 at 2 feet and 4 at 1.5 feet, that gets us an extra 6 feet worth of 1.5 foot sections and 8 feet worth of 2 foot sections. So why don't we add 4 feet to this? Oh, pardon me. Let's duplicate it. Oh, thought the rotation would stay. And let's give it 4 feet more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Now let's do the same here. Rotate. Give it about 3.5 feet worth of space. All right, so we just moved this up here, and then we moved it again. Great. Classic. Let's duplicate it. Rotate the duplicate. There we go. Move the duplicate in parallel with the other one. Cool. All right, now let's get 2 of the 2.5 by 9s, because that's a good configuration for me. Make it blue. Let's Stick it 2.5 feet away from them. It's about right. 2 feet's fine. And then let's see, what do we got? We've got an extra 6 feet, so 3 feet to add to each of these. Duplicate, add 3 feet. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Let's put these down. Let's add another set. We'll just approximately bring it up. Take out some of the fence, which I was planning on doing anyways. Duplicate. There you go. And the funny thing is, you know what we're left with? We're left with all of the rings, all the corners. So let's see if we can add some of those circular ones that they sell. Do they have that on here? Hey, cool. Round piece. I don't know. Well, we're going to add the 2-foot one just for fun. And we would get 2 of them, most importantly. Blue. And let's move it. Let's stick it over here along the fence line maybe. Put one here for fun. And put another one in. There. So that was kind of a rough one, but it just goes to show you there's so much variability in these modular designs, and it really does pay to know how many pieces are in them and what their lengths are, and to consider what you can do with them in your garden space, right? Of these 3, I don't know, I like this one or the first one the best. It's fun to think about. So, give it a try and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye.